Yeah. Hold up. Woo. Step out your pity, dog, and level up your level. If we talking about wins, I count several. You can't catch me, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I look fine on the gram, get a better view. Cause in real life, I'm really that nigga. So told that little was feeling amazing. I leveled my level up, now I'm incredible. Hold up.
Peace, love, big blessings, even bigger living. Everything that come with it and everything in between. You are tuned in to Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. It's just a conversation if you choose to engage. I gotta take a deep breath real quick, man. Listen, today, y'all see I got two brothers. I got two brothers sitting with me, two kings sitting with me, two men of power, two men of God, two youth advocates, two family men, two men of the community. These brothers right here, it is an honor to have you both on my show. At the same time at that, that's kind of wild. I see y'all pulled up Sunday best, man. I'm in all black. I should have wore something different.
You good.
I have my brothers, Odell Harris Jr. and Mario Caleb Barnes. There's a Caleb Mario Barnes. I want to make sure I say it right. Mario Caleb Barnes. Let's know him as Mario.
You said it right.
You feel me? How y'all doing, brothers? How's y'all spirits doing?
Oh, great, man. I feel good, man.
Word,
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
The one trick though, cause y'all see it. We got one mic.
You gotta
you got to talk to the mic, but it's all good. I got the volume up so it can project.
Good.
But you said your spirit's good.
Spirit's great, man. I can't complain.
Word.
Life is good, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
Your spirit good as well.
Wonderful, brother. Just good to be in your presence again, man. You and be with my best friend and brother beloved, brother Mario, man. It's just a blessing, bro. It's a good day.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta shout out our location. We are on location at Mulberry Art Gallery here in Wichita, Kansas. Shout out to Anthony Joyner for sponsoring this spot. Y'all see the dope artwork behind us. Pull up to Revolution if you are in the Wichita, Kansas area and check out Mulberry Art Gallery. Black owned, black curated, one of the most amazing gyms here in our city.
Top spot.
Beautiful. Man, listen.
Beautiful spot.
Beautiful spot. I shot a music video in here.
Oh, that's what's up.
And it was fire.
Yeah.
It was crazy fire. After that, I said, yo, I got to pull up here more often. So.
For sure.
Yes, indeed. Man, I got so many places that this conversation could go.
Most definitely.
Right? We was already talking off camera. Y'all know it's a rule I normally have. I do not talk before the interview.
Oh, wow.
Like, I normally do not engage in conversation. But I love y'all so much.
Appreciate
right?
it.
And the conversation was just going.
Yes.
And I love that type of dialogue. One thing that we were talking about, and Odell, I'll put you on the spot, right? Because you both are youth-ready advocates, right?
Yes.
And we'll talk about some of that, which is really dope, some of the partnerships that we got. But you're on the Citizens Review Board here in Wichita, Kansas.
Yes, sir.
Man, I had Brandon Johnson on, Councilman Johnson on earlier in this season, earlier in this inception of Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. And we was talking about these racist text messages from the police department. And I found it ironic that the reason that these even came out is because a sheriff was under investigation for domestic violence.
Right.
What you know about that as a advisor on the Citizens Review Board?
Well, man, unfortunately, it was something that took place probably about a year before we even got wind of it. On Citizens Review Board, what we do is we get cases that are past being finalized, past discipline, post-discipline, if you will. And we take a look at them, and we look at them to see if some further information needs to be given to the community, if everything was given that we are satisfied with. But what happened was they gave us a portfolio of closed cases, probably 100 of them. And I looked at one and I said, man, listen, this does not sit well with me. It simply, I think it read slanderous or racial text messages between officers. The sad reality is it stemmed and it started with one of our own brothers. It really came from a man of color. He's one of my friends. I love him. And I won't mention his name on camera. We all pretty much know who he is. But it started off him thinking it was something funny.
Yeah.
When the text messages came out, the root cause of it was, again, found by accident by a sheriff officer. What happens is WPD investigates sheriff issues, and they, in turn, do the same thing for us when it's as far as internally. When we looked at the text messages, it actually, again, came from one of our own people, one of our own brothers, a man of ebony hue, if you will. And
Black man.
Black man. It was
Black man, wow.
Picture of a very large gentleman, naked, man, and he's kneeling down on George Floyd's neck, and his male genitalia is draped over George Floyd's face.
Wow.
And this is a Michael Clark Duncan figure kind of guy, huge, big guy, football, masculine guy. Yeah. And that's what happened, man. And so we investigated it. our former chief, whom I worked with, I was on his advisory committee, and our city manager. It's kind of going back and forth on who knew and who didn't know.
Okay.
But somebody knew and didn't say anything. And the
100.
Woodstock Police Department, one of their main slogans is, if you see something, you say something.
Yeah.
But isn't that oxymoronic that they saw something and never said anything?
They saw something and kept it going.
Kept it going, man.
Man, you know, something I got to point out in there, which I think is a major dynamic when we look at community in general,
Yes, sir.
right? Because it's easy to forget that police officers are a community in themselves,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And so I've never been a police officer. I did corrections work for about a little under a year, and it killed my spirit. It was
Yes,
not
sir.
for me.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't get jiggy with the other figures of authority. Some of the homies was coming through there. Some family members was coming through there. We freestyle rap battle. I was really nice. I was the coldest one on the court as we hooped as well. Even developed some relationships past there, right? But something that I see happen is that even if it's a black man, in that community, the badge is first. Right? How often, especially on the review board, how often do you see those type of things where it don't matter what the racial, political, none of that. It's like, yo, I got to hold down my brothers in blue
Right.
because these are my brothers in blue.
So,
If you can speak on that.
if I can speak candidly, I will say that the police organization is just like any other organization.
100.
But let's be honest, we all grew up in the Afrocentric community. We grew up in the black neighborhood.
Factual.
And gangs were prevalent. But if we know the root of what real gang life is family. Police are no different. They don't talk against each other most of the time they don't speak against each other. Now, you know, you do have those rare instances that somebody might speak up.
Yeah.
But man, and I don't see it often. We do not see it often, and that's not a community problem. That's not a Kansas State problem. That's a national issue.
Word.
Where police don't speak up against other police officers. They don't write. In Chicago, I talked to my sister. She's a Chicago police officer, and she says that their budget can be solved if police would write other police tickets. Man, they don't write other police officers tickets.
No snitching.
No snitching.
Wow. And that is damaging in itself.
That's a terrible part of our culture.
Yeah.
We won't tell, but then we get mad when somebody's breaking in our house. Well, you knew they broke in Miss Jones' house. You
Yeah.
didn't say nothing.
Sheesh.
But now it's your house, and you know. Anyway, it is what it is.
And man, that's a conversation in itself.
Yes,
'Cause,
sir.
man, listen. But you hit on the gangs, and I want to keep the thing fluid because I'll sit in the cop topic for forever,
Yes,
or
sir.
I'll bounce 100 topics. It's just a conversation. We're just thinking
sure.
out loud.
I like it. For sure.
We're just
I like
thinking
it.
out
I
loud.
like
As you talk gangs, man, like from your understanding, what gangs are rooted in, right? Because I want to ask you some questions follow on that, and I
Yes,
want to
sir.
make sure there's people listening. They be like, "Oh, he know what he's talking about." From your understanding, what both of y'all, I guess, right? What are gangs rooted in? For people who may not understand the community value of the origination
Right, sir.
of gangs.
Right, sir.
I see you looking like, "What's this? Where you
Okay.
going, Sammy?" But you
sure.
feel the community value of the origination.
For me, it's definitely family, but we were there to protect ourselves
Yeah.
from the police. We were community organizations
Word.
that started to, you know, I can't really remember what the acronym for CRIP is, but you know what I'm saying?
Community resistance in progress.
There it is. Boom.
Like that talk. I like
Yeah.
that.
So they were community organizations. They started that, but then crack came.
Crack epidemic.
And when crack came, the world changed.
100%.
So, and then we start picking streets and sides and colors and all that good stuff. So, I have a lot of close family members,
Word.
a lot of close friends, and a lot of young men that died by gang violence.
Yeah.
And I grew up in an era where it was really, really prevalent. I hate that it's coming back. And I just, you know what I'm saying, our culture doesn't need that anymore. We do need the community part of that.
100%.
If we could get together and do something positive
Yeah.
when you bring us brothers together, other than selling dope and, you know what I'm saying, shooting each other,
100.
I think that we'd be on a better foot, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Man, and I think it's safe to say that you both are community advocates, youth advocates.
Almost definitely.
So y'all deal with the some of the destruction, some of the disruption that
Absolutely.
has happened since gangs strayed completely away from their origination and original mission, right? As youth ready advocates, you DJ Storytime Village. You DJ a lot of things, but I know you in the community with the kids, even outside of youth ready advocates in that space, right?
Definitely.
I know you as well. You happy with these kids, man. What drew you to want to have such a major impact on the life of young boys? I don't like to say young men. Because they don't want these men problems.
No.
You ain't a young man until you're 18.
Yes.
You feel me? To me, at least.
Yes, most definitely.
But these young boys, what drove you to want to impart on these young boys' lives?
You go first. I'll go second.
So absolutely, man. It's a long, very pregnant question. But let me give you a birth answer. I'm gonna give you. Started working in the funeral business when I was a little bitty guy, man. My father worked for Jackson Mortuary. God bless the Jackson community, been in our community 100 years, literally. And man, I started, man, I asked Michael Jackson, man, can I have a job, man? I started working there, man, washing cars, cleaning, sweeping. And I saw how they would tend to the families of these young men and women who have lost their lives to gang violence, terrible lifestyles, living that contrary lifestyle to what we know as being positive and life-giving. And man, I saw that, man, and again, 8 years old, I'm seeing death and destruction. I'm seeing human remains at the worst condition possible. Little boys and girls with bullet holes and stab wounds, and hearing about clubs getting shot up. And even then, it was in my heart to be different. So now, fast forward 35, my partner and our brother Lamont Martin and myself, we own the Heavenly Gates Mortuary. And I can honestly say, man, since we have been in existence, we sit right downtown by Lawrence Dumont Stadium, less than half a mile from where I went to high school at Wichita West High School, Go Pioneers. But half a mile from where I grew up, really matriculated into manhood, where I saw friends killed, where I saw students at school on Monday not make it to Friday because they're dead or in the hospital or incarcerated. I can honestly say I have more friends in jail or in the cemetery than I do that are alive and well and doing positive and productive things in this society. I made it my mind and my mission and also my ministry to give back, man. I can say that we at the Heavenly Gates Mortuary, man, we make over 60% of our revenue off of the demographic of 35 and under. Gun violence.
I was sharing that with my wife last night. I was like, yo, I'm sitting with Odell and Taylor tomorrow. And Odell was sharing with me that at Heavenly Gates, they see, and I say 60%, but I thought you said 30 years old or younger.
Yeah, 30 and under.
30 and under.
But I add 35, man. But since what's this new drug, fentanyl. Since fentanyl has come on, then you got the experimental drug users, man. Where now we're bearing fentanyl, man. Bearing one of my very close and good friends I grew up with, brother Jeremy Vaught, man. Last year I barber in the city, buried him, man. I buried kids, man. You hear stories about. Young lady was at a football game, had a headache, asked her neighbor, hey, do you have a Tylenol? You remember back in the day that mothers always carried a bottle of Tylenol in their purse? Well, she asked a friend, hey, or somebody that was there, you got a Tylenol? They gave her fentanyl. She died at the stadium. You hear stories like that. Boys and girls hanging out with friends, and I don't smoke weed, but some people do, and I'm really not against it, but
I do.
These
I love it.
Hey, go
makes me a great parent and a great husband.
So these, but it's one thing from back in the day when they smoking some green.
Yeah.
Now you don't know what you getting.
Real life.
And you can't trust your friend. It's like you can't trust the guy if you don't know where you're getting it from, and it's just difficult. And so, man, that's why I do what I do, man. If I never do another child funeral, that's great for me.
100.
If that means the business has to shut down. If I can not do another child funeral, I'm good with it. I'm ready to take that on. I'll go get another job. I already got 4. I'll get 5.
Word. No, that's because you get to see
the worst.
You get to see in action in one space, right? The proactivity of working with the youth and helping them manage emotions, manage behaviors, balance their schools.
Absolutely.
And then you see the end result of what could be.
And I also work in the juvenile justice, man. I work in a group home where I see, and I go inside the juvenile residential facility. I do all these things, man. My whole life is youth. I'm the youth pastor of my church. I do it all. Everything that this young man and myself do, it involves kids. late to work on mornings, man, because we're taking somebody else's kids to school, feeding other people's kids before I feed my own kids, making sure kids have socks and underwear, the basic necessities, man, things that we take for granted, making sure others have it above myself. And that's my calling, man. And that's why I do what I do, man. I don't, take too much time. But that's why I do what I do, man.
My story's a little different, man. Going through school, growing up in my household, man, I thought I was gonna be this huge producer. I love music. Everybody knows I love music. And I thought I was gonna be with Diddy and the Hitman. I thought that was my dream and my goal. I was like, I'm going to New York, be a super producer with, the Hitman. Wherever I'm gonna end up, I'm making music.
Bad boy, baby.
Right. Can't stop, won't stop. So I go to college, Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Morris Brown College. Shout out to the AUC. I love my AUC family. But I went to college and I started hanging around these dudes that made music. Dudes that went on to be great producers. But nobody shared information with me. So it was like I was trying to get on, but nobody was like, nah. And so I come back home and I didn't have a summer job. And so my mom was like, I got your job. It's like, cool. Where at? She said, McAdams. So I started working at McAdams, 18 years old, and working with kids. And he was like, Mr. Mario. And they give me different things to do with the kids, and it came naturally. They was like, all right, you got to teach them a dance. I was like, huh. All right, cool. Do that. Boom. And then I was like, nah, this ain't for me. I tried to leave them alone. Tried to work retail. I worked at JCPenney's for a hot second. And then I was like, nah, this ain't fulfilling. So mom said, hey, go to Ingalls. And so my journey started at Ingalls Elementary in the year 1999, November of 1999. And shout out to Stephanie Holloman, who hired me. And I was started as a lunch aide. First day on the job, I'll tell a quick story. First day on the job, I'm a lunch aide. I walk upstairs, third grade classroom, 2 kids standing on a desk. One had potatoes, the other one had peas. They was about to, shoot them things at each other. It was like, I would say, hey, sit down. It was like, who is you? Like, I don't know who you are. No matter who I am, sit down. I'm 21. So, started there. And it just became my calling, and everything that I did, I went from Ingalls to Jardine, from Jardine to Clark, from Clark to Mueller back home where my alma mater. Went to Brooks and Heights, so I'm back at Brooks and Heights and working with kids. Also, I think it was subconsciously that my mom worked with kids my whole entire life, and so I think she imparted those things in me, man. Yeah, and it's just, we all work with young people, man, on a regular basis. And it was just a call from the jump. God was like, hey, I'm going to give you a piece of what you want to do.
Yeah.
But you got to do this thing my way.
Now, hearing y'all both explain that, it sounds at the root is purpose driven.
Yeah, most definitely.
And you can't run from purpose.
No.
Like you talk about being at McDonald's, like, maybe the same, but it's like, nah, I'm going to put you where I want you.
Yes.
You're going to be where you're supposed to be.
Yes,
wow.
most definitely.
That's amazing, man.
Most definitely.
And I remember when I went over to, I used to do case management, and I was in Brooks Middle School one time and ran into both of y'all.
Yeah.
And it was just a reminder of the way young people in general respond to positive black men.
True.
Like, there's no denying that. True. I would almost say almost every school, either subconsciously or on purpose, has at least 1 or 2 big black men that traditionally would be like behavioral management, strictly. Right. But now it's more so like, okay, it's in an academic space. My son has a black teacher. That's a dude. Yeah. And he loves it. Absolutely. Like, because he speaks his language. True. Right? He sees somebody that his pops might kick it with. Right. Right. So it's really dope, man. Like, what is the most rewarding thing for either of you when working with the youth? Because the youth can be a challenge. Ooh, man. And generational gaps often put us in a space where we like, these kids is wild and these kids is this, that, and the third. When we were this, that, the third plus, just wasn't documented. True. Right. True. Right? Facts. You feel me? Like, what keeps you grounded, but what's the most rewarding thing when working with the youth?
I think for me, totally is, I also the generational gaps. The blessing part about me working since 1999 is most of these kids' parents I know, and then to come around full circle and have their kids, it's a whole thing. I truly appreciate that. Like and then on the flip side of that, another rewarding factor is seeing them when the light comes on, seeing that light bulb go off and be like, yo, I got it. I think I figured it out. Seeing them when the light bulb comes on, that's very rewarding for me. We just gotta, I think we take it for granted that kids, you know what I'm saying, are sponges, man, and they take everything that we say and how we live our lives, you know what I'm saying, the way we walk, the way we talk, all those different things. They are watching. And kids can definitely tell when you fake and when you real. And I think for me and my brother, Odell, they understand that we real and we really care.
Yeah.
And so they confide in us. It's some stuff I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Word.
But
Word.
they really confide in us and tell us everything. Everything. I think the blessing part of being visible in the schools, you talked about having a black man there, you know what I'm saying, for on purpose. We also dress up on purpose. To let them know, hey, just because you wear a suit don't mean you got to go to church all the time.
Yeah.
You need to see a black man in a suit. You need to, sometimes you need to dress up.
Word.
There's certain occasions where you need to, you're saying, go all the way out, dress up, look nice, whether it be an interview, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, those type of things. Date night with your wife, you know what I'm saying? Dress up.
Straight up.
So I think those pieces are huge, man. We want to give them every layer of a black man, from the J's to, you know what I'm saying, the certain tie to turtleneck to whatever you want to give them, you know what I'm saying? You want to give them every layer.
I like that.
I think the most rewarding part about working with the youth of today is that I think Ben Franklin said it best. The only thing that is more expensive than education is ignorance. The only thing that's more expensive than education is ignorance.
Yeah.
And ignorance is not knowing. And I think it's invaluable, man, for us to take our experiences, man, that what we've learned in 35 and 45 years. You know, Mario's 10 years older than me. Doesn't seem like it. But from what we've learned through the School of Hard Knocks, man, growing up at 1358 North Green, man.
Come on.
You know, in what we call the hood, if you will. I grew up Green and then Shady Brook and then Volusia. I grew up in, you know, after my mother and father split up. My mother moved us around a little bit, man.
Yeah.
You know, trying to find that balance. I'm the only son. I got a twin sister and an older sister. So 3 women in the house and me. So that's 3 women dealing with their situation every month.
Yeah.
I've learned how to adapt. I've learned how to clean and wash clothes and cook and, you know, to mirror that image of what a good man is. And so for so long in our school district, black men have been the heavy. We've been that behavior person.
Yeah.
We've been that person that come in and regulate. Well, we've also now become the people who teach the teachers. Somebody got to teach the teachers how to deal with the students. And so we come in and let teachers know, hey, when we come in, you have no power, so you might as well sit down. Because when I come in, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And so that's the most rewarding part about it, not only teaching kids, but teaching adults.
You're right about that.
We teach a lot of mothers and fathers.
True.
Yeah.
There's some things that kids talk to us about that they would never share with their parents. Let me say this and be personal. My son will not tell me certain things. He only talks to Mario.
Wow. Really?
He only talks to Mario. He talks to not grandpa. He got grandpa. He got mama. He got daddy.
Yeah.
He only talks to Mario.
Now, I'm paint the picture. I've been knowing his son since he was 5.
Okay.
And how was his go-to when he was in elementary school?
Absolutely.
Got you.
Literal go-to. Like, he would go home and so much that we became friends because of the
Because
relationship
of my son.
Got you.
because of him.
Yeah.
Literally, he would go home and tell, you know what I'm saying, his parents about this guy, Mr. Barnes, who he'd be with and get to eat lunch with and get to hang out with.
Right.
Yeah.
I was out in these clothes, dressed up to the nines. I'd be on the playground. I'd throw
100.
footballs. You know what I'm saying? I'll push you in the swing. Whatever you need to do outside. You know what I'm saying? I had recess duty
Word.
for 5 whole years at Mule Elementary, and I did it. Like, I was outside I was inside talking to the kids. I was getting to know them, and then I was outside, and it was like, Mr. Barnes, can we play football? Cool. I got on a shirt and tie, but it's okay. Take my jacket off. I'm throwing the football. And we know we can't play unless you out here, because if we playing without you, we go fight. Cool. It is what it is.
Word.
But the relationship that started, I taught his son how to swim because I was with the Splash program.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying, the relationship that was built, it was 5 whole years of me being, since he was 5. Since he started his elementary career, he been with me. And it made us even become brothers because of that relationship.
100. No, that's powerful. It's almost like y'all reading my mind, because I was going to ask about community, right? But I think that's a prime example of it takes a village.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, yeah, we strong as parents on our own.
Right.
We have foundations that we set, but it's often I'll say something to my son, and his basketball coach will say the same thing, and it hit different.
Right.
Right.
True.
And I'm like, I ain't say nothing different, but it's like a different relationship.
Absolutely.
A confirmation
True.
almost. Like
Absolutely.
that's pops. Like
Absolutely.
I believe and trust everything you say, but it's just naturally in me to go against it. Right. But getting back to the community aspect of it, how do we keep that type of community relationships solid, right, with external figures from the household,
Right.
being able to bridge that gap when the kids are outside, right? And I even add more on that. I'm gonna ask my kids, friends, who's your mom? Who's your mom? Who's your dad?
Absolutely, we do that. Yeah.
Straight up.
I bet I know him.
Yeah.
Right? And we had a Boogie on the Blacktop for my son's school, and I'm just looking around, I'm like, oh, it's a lot of dads out here that I know in real life.
Right.
And I made it a point to go to each one of them like, yo, I didn't know your kids went here,
Right.
but just know that if you see mine out of line, you got the right to check them.
Yeah.
And I hope it's the same on this side for you.
Right.
Right?
For
But
sure.
having that communication, how important is that community when it comes to making sure our kids succeed?
That's huge. Go ahead.
So large, and I'm deferring to Mario. Mario's been in the district over 20 plus years.
Word.
I've been in the district 16, so he got me beat by about 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you, it's so big that our students spend 7-8 hours at school every day. So by the time they get home, so they've spent more time at school during the daylight than they have at home. In a hopeful sense, because some of our kids were kicking out of school, which I don't agree with.
Yeah.
But in a perfect situation, our kids spend more time of the week at school than they do at home. And so with us being in the school district, we have to create those relationships with parents. That way, when I tell your son to sit his behind down, you know I wasn't being rude to him. I'm like uncle, I'm like big brother, I'm like mentor, and you as a father, you back me up. Right. If Mario calls or he says, Odell, I checked your son. I checked sir. I told him to sit his behind down, and if he didn't, I was going to yank him by the collar. Yes, sir. Why you calling me? He's yours. He's yours while you got him. Because I trust that you're not going to do anything that I wouldn't do. And as a matter of fact, if it's something that I'm not doing that's for his gratification, that's going to help him be better, I need you to do that. Mm-hmm. It is so important in a generation where we have so many single mothers.
Come on.
Now, I grew up with a single mother. I grew up in a fatherless home, but my mother didn't. She had a vision. Word. The Bible says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Right. Yeah. My mother had a vision. Yeah. It wasn't a card, it was a belt. And she didn't play. What mother said, she said it at one time. And she meant it. And so in a world of community, man, we need to be able to trust our brother and sister and understand that not all of our brothers and sisters look like us.
Oh, that's a bar. That's a bar.
Not all of our brothers and sisters look like us.
Yeah.
I think also, too, we bridge the gap by being present.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, in my singleness, I spent a lot of time at the football field. I spent a lot of time at the basketball court. Mm-hmm. God blessed me with a gift to take photos. So I would always be at the football field taking pictures since 99. Since I started, well, I say 2000.
Yeah.
Kids would ask me to come to the football game. Cool. I got a camera in my hand. Cool. I'll take pictures. So what I would do, I would take pictures, and at the end of the season, here, take them home with you.
Yeah.
And some parents were like, wow, I ain't never got no pictures of my kids. And this was way back before everything was digital. Yeah. Social media was crazy. But I continued that on. I would make walls at Brooks, at Clark, and Mueller. You know what I'm saying? Put all the kids' pictures up. Mm-hmm. So it's like a Hall of Fame wall of you at your game.
Absolutely.
I came and supported you. Yeah. Here's your pictures.
You're giving them some pride.
Yeah. And that also made them trust me. Plus, if I need to talk to a parent, where they gonna be at? Football field.
Double whammy.
Double whammy. So whether it's a good interaction or a bad one, I'm coming to the parents and be like, hey, I'm Mr. Barnes. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm supporting your kid. Cool. That turned into, okay, well, I got 3 more to go there as well. Cool. Watch out for them too. Boom. And so that snowball, I got so many parents that I build relationships because I showed up at the football game.
Yeah.
And showed up at the basketball court. I still show up at the football game.
Word.
Still to the day. Like, they'll be like, hey, I play at this time at this school. All my Brooks boys from last year, I went to East High when they were playing Northwest. It was a huge game because all those kids played on the same football team and came and shot pictures.
That's fire.
And shooting to them. Now they put them on their social media and post them on, you know what I'm saying, all their snaps and Instagrams. So, yeah.
So being where they at.
Being where they at.
Being present.
And
Being present.
A lot of that is also huge, Brother Sam, because our district does not do a good job of exposing our kids in a positive light.
Dig a little deeper for me.
I was the #1 track runner in the country.
You were that fucking deal. Excuse my language. I was gonna bring it up, but you did first. You were that deal.
I was a sprinter beyond measure, man. God blessed me to be able to sprint, man. He gave me that gift to get away from the hood that I grew up in and give my mother a better life. I can honestly say now that my mother's retired. I have 2 sisters, one in Dallas, one in Chicago. My mother doesn't have to worry about a place to stay. She don't have to worry about no rent. She just goes where she wants to go. She has a place. She has a home. Has a room in all of our houses.
That's
but
fire.
I did my own recruiting, man. I did my own. I did my own films. I sent my own times. I had coaches that looked out for me, but they were not in the district. Our district, for boys of color, man, they talk all about the bad stuff we do, but we have some hell of athletes that come through Wichita. How many of them are first choices to go to Wichita State? How many of them know what it takes to get into Wichita State?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me all these state champion basketball teams we didn't have, none of them wanted to play at Wichita State University?
Yeah.
Or did they not get exposed?
That's a question I have often, right? Because you see a lot of brothers from the town go to NFL, right? But I'm removed from high school sports.
Yes, sir.
Right? But I don't know how many of them played in USD 259, Wichita Public Schools.
Absolutely.
Right.
A lot of them.
I need to get some coaches on here because I really want to dig deeper into that. Even basketball players.
For
Like
sure.
you said, we've got some top-notch players that don't necessarily. It seems like they don't get that exposure they need.
So
and it's kind of interesting.
Me just shooting straight and that's the best way to be straight.
Yeah.
Before Connor Frank came, it was some fantastic brothers that can shoot the round ball. It was some fantastic brothers that can play ball, can play football, basketball. But he got so much PT, he got so much fanfare, he got so much TV time.
Yeah.
But let's talk about these other boys, man, that were just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
And didn't get that much, didn't get that many props.
So is it a grade thing? Is it what
It's
is
a
the
color
gap?
thing.
You think that's what it is for real?
Oh my God. It takes 3 years of a foreign language to even get into Wichita State. You can graduate Wichita Public Schools with 2 years. Who in the hell is telling our black kids that? I didn't find that out until last year. That Wichita State would rather you have 3 years of a foreign language before you come to their institution. You can graduate Wichita Public Schools with just 2.
Got you.
It does something to me.
Yeah.
I think about my own son, who is an upcoming sprinter. And when I say he's upcoming, I mean he's coming fast.
Yeah.
I got a daughter who's a 6th grader, she's at Brooks, she'll run next year, but her relay team is ranked in the top 10 in the nation.
Wow.
K10 they haven't done any reports on these girls that just went to North Carolina, man, and just wreck shop, And I'm not talking about just my kids. I'm talking about all these little kids in the hood that they dream. I asked some kids the other day, as a black young man, what is your primary focus? 99% of them are going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. I want to make my mama's life better. That's newsworthy for me.
Word.
Because it ain't about me. I'll eat ramen noodles for the rest of my life, but my mama gonna eat steak.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man, and that's been my whole motive. That's what Mario does. His mama calling right now. He gonna go cut that grass. he gonna go clean that deck off. If mama say go to the store right now and pick this up, Because that's what our life is about as young brothers. And so that's why I say Wichita Public Schools has to dig deeper into what we're doing as far as exposing our kids. We got some National Honor Society students that are black. Dr. Polite, who we work for, his grandson is Northeast Magnet. Was it Northeast Magnet? He was top of the class, man.
Word.
That should have been on the news. That is newsworthy.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's definitely a conversation that's got to be had. Yeah. I was looking to move to Seattle.
Yes, sir.
A couple years back. Decided not to, but I was looking at schools and school ratings in the systems, and I had never before paid attention to Wichita Public Schools overall scores and ratings.
Yes, sir.
And we were like, oh, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then the other part of me, I'm like, I try to understand where that comes from when I look at like city budget, because it all boils down to the money.
True.
But okay, but he's gonna say but. Talk to. I'm just listening. We just talking.
So I can throw you before Mario goes there because I know he's going. I know Mario. We think alike. But I'm gonna tell you, the reason why we do the job we do, we are future ready advocate mentors out of the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Accountability with Wichita Public Schools. Okay. Our department was created for the significant disproportionality of suspensions of boys of color and the low graduation rate for boys of color. The Wichita Public Schools is involved with the Council of Great City Schools. The largest school districts are all over the nation. Okay. And was it a year or two ago? So let me stay right here. Because of the significant disproportionality, our school district has been fined over $1 million for the last 2-3 years.
And these are facts.
Facts.
Based off facts.
Wow.
This is not something we heard. This is why we do the job we do in the Wichita Public Schools. Okay. We show up and we create an atmosphere, talk to teachers about, hey man, listen, some things deserve a conversation before you move to suspension. Mm-hmm. The low graduation rate and the significant disproportionality of suspension of boys of color. I think it was about a year or two ago that Dr. Polite went to one of the seminars for the Council of Great City Schools, and he said he and our superintendent looked at the numbers, and they had to shut their book because we were not where we should have been. Wow. And people are looking at Wichita Public Schools from all over the nation saying, "What in the hell are they doing?" Yeah. And guess what we're saying? What the hell are we doing?
Is this an inherited because I shout out Dr. Thompson.
This is
like
she's fantastic. This happened before her.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
She came in. She's making some. Shout out to Dr. Thompson.
Shout out to Dr. Thompson. We love you.
She's making some strategic moves. She's getting some of them complacent folks out of the way. If you're not for our kids, move around. Word. For so long, we've had people who take salaries, but they don't take it serious. I think that'll preach. We got people who get big salaries, but they don't take what we do seriously. Yeah. We are promoting. It's crazy how the people who we are teaching are going to be the people who have to take care of us. True. What have we taught them? Yeah. Wow.
You said it all. I didn't have nothing to say. Listen. Jeez. Yeah. I think I love the fact that some of my principals took the time to employ people of color, people that look like us, especially on the elementary level.
Judy Wright.
Yeah, she hooked us up. Judy Wright, God bless you.
Retired.
Yeah, but she ain't retired for real. Anyways,
she's still going.
She's still going. But our school was full of African American teachers. Yeah, full of them. On the flip side is they go from this wonderful school with all these wonderful African American teachers and this great family atmosphere of greatness and what you could and could not do. You get to middle school, you get to high school. Yeah. Where they at? Who are they? You don't have the same, and I'm old school, I'm a historian, I love history. But I look at the schools that my parents went to, or even back in the day. Madison was a school for us, by us, with us. You know what I'm saying? Madison, Ingalls, Isley, those schools was us. Yeah. And I think that we need a lot more black educators in our school system.
Absolutely. They are strategically recruiting black people now, going to Langston, going to these other places. To recruit young black male teachers.
Yes. That's important.
To be specific.
Huge, man.
It's important.
Our boys need to see people who look like them.
On an everyday basis.
Part. And I don't know for sure. I'm a teacher, but I'm not a teacher.
Right.
I'm a dad, so I teach all day. Yeah. But I see a lot of burnout with teachers.
True.
right? Like, it's wild. I go to different middle schools, and I'm like, oh, this principal was my middle school teacher.
Absolutely.
And I just know you look tired.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then you take into account the pandemic.
Right.
Then you take into account, I was going to say I'm playing devil's advocate, but the devil don't ever need no advocate. But just from looking at perspective and lenses, right? I look at how the pandemic impacted us at a human level.
Yeah.
I then look at what that did to the learning for students.
Yes.
I then look at the stress that put on parents.
Yes.
Who already may not have been able to manage the home and work.
True.
Right? And I don't even know if there's an answer to this, right? But how do we resolve the students who are left behind? Because I know with these suspensions, I had a chance, I was asking Dr. Paulite as we was sitting talking, like, yo, how many of these suspensions are biases? Because teachers have a specific bias.
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother.
Now you
compared to, like, yo, some of these kids is really
bad, doing some terrible things.
Wow, yeah, I can't say
wildin'.
bad. They
They're
wilding, like
Make some bad choices.
Yeah.
they screaming for help.
Right,
True.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
They screaming for help.
I say now this is just my own thoughts, y'all.
Yeah.
I think we should have had a hard reset, man. We just should have just put all the computers down, put all the tablets down,
Come on, man.
put all the phones down, and go on retreat. Just go to the woods. And just let's talk.
You talking teachers? Or you talking
Everybody.
what? Bro said everybody. Go to the
Teachers,
woods.
students, let's go to the woods.
Yeah.
First, we have a retreat with the teachers before school starts and just decompress. And just really, really let out everything that's been going on for 2 whole years
Right.
of all these feelings, these emotions, not being with people.
Not being able to
In
touch nobody.
right.
That's amazing.
Having conversations and talking and just like not be able to be like, hey, I'm here with y'all. And how can we combat these things mentally so we can deal with our kids and be okay? Then, on the flip side, take the kids out.
Yeah.
Put their phones in a bucket. Let them decompress.
Man.
And just really understand what it means to be a kid again.
Yeah.
Get outside, feel what a leaf feels like.
Get dirty.
You know what I'm saying? Get dirty, get in the mud. Go be a kid. Don't pick up a cell phone. Don't look at TikTok. Don't look at Instagram.
Snapchat.
Just stay off social media and just decompress.
Yeah.
But I thought that was what we should have did from jump. It's just
what
Man,
I'm saying.
I work from home in my professional gig. Been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
I was sharing with y'all off camera.
Yeah.
Right. I don't talk to people in real life unless I leave the house.
Right.
I work 8 hours at home.
right,
Online.
Right.
The last 2.5 years.
right.
It's a challenge.
It is.
Right, because you don't get to touch people. I joke with my wife and I'm like, I have not heard any gossip, had a meeting after the meeting,
Right.
or any of that, had a debate at work.
True.
In 2.5 years.
Man, that's deep.
Because it's on camera all day. Right? So I can only imagine, and I work with grown-ups. I work with adults. So people are people. Let me be careful there, because people are people. I was going to say I couldn't imagine with kids, but people are people.
No,
right?
'cause-
adults can be out of...
Think about this though. Think about you went from 5th grade to 7th grade. 5th grade, I was a kid.
Yeah, man.
Word.
But 7th grade, I'm a whole teenager.
Yeah.
My body has changed, everything. I developed habits. My thoughts have changed. Things
Yeah.
have changed drastically for me. So I can't, our kids, you know what I'm saying, 2 years is a drastic change. And my whole life has flipped upside down. And this screen has been my life. So for a teacher to tell me to get off this screen,
Yeah.
it's real difficult when we didn't decompress from the screen.
I've been conditioned.
I've been conditioned.
Like we told, the iPads and these things are going to kill the kids. They don't need to be on it. And now you have to be dependent on it
Right.
for your learning.
Right.
Yeah.
So that huge piece. Go ahead.
I think about the kids being burned out and everything, but then I look at our teachers, man, and shout out to the educators of today who take their job to heart, that do the best they can. Many of the educators that I know, pretty much everybody in our department, we're bivocational. We don't make all our money from the school district, and if we depended on the school district to pay our bills,
Yeah.
we'd be trying to find some food somewhere, man, with some lights cut off.
Word.
Because teachers, we educate, the school district educates others that make double or triple what we make. I think our teachers are undervalued, man.
100%.
And I'm not talking about just black teachers. I'm talking about teachers in general. Teachers that show up and do a good job, man, they are so undervalued and they're underpaid.
Yeah.
They're underpaid, man, and that can cause burnout when you're teaching via screen or in person for 7-8 hours a day. Then you at Applebee's waiting tables until 11 o'clock at night, and you go home and have to grade papers, lesson plan, and be at school the next morning at 7.
You got a DoorDash.
You got a DoorDash, and I can tell you,
Right.
man,
Like,
I work first, second, and third shift now. I've been doing it for 16 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not only do we have Heavenly Gates, my partner and I, but I work at a facility for troubled boys from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I get off in the morning, I shower, and I'm right back to the school 7:30, 8 o'clock. Get off at 2, 3 o'clock, and then I'm back at the mortuary.
Yeah.
I'm a youth pastor. I'm an advocate. I work downtown with the police department, citizen review bureau, and I do all this stuff. I still got 4 kids at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got a sophomore daughter, a freshman son, a 6th grade daughter, and a 7th grade son. I'm an active dad. They do sports. I see the burnout. I feel the burnout. Not to mention my brother got a son that's 1 and a daughter that's 5.
Yeah.
I don't envy him on any street. I'm thank God I'm past that age.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see the burnout. You know,
Yeah.
and then teachers, baby boy said, "Mama gotta have a life too. Teachers gotta have a life too."
I was talking to my daughter, and I was like, "Yo, I don't think you understand. Like, I walk into your school, and I know your teachers in real life.
Yes.
I don't know that my mom had any relationships with my teachers outside of the parent-teacher.
No. My mom did.
I could.
So, my 4th grade teacher
Uh-huh.
was my auntie's almost good friend, like almost best friend.
Word.
So they knew my parents in the real life, and that was and that's a generational gap too. I think for y'all, like
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I walked home for lunch.
Walked home for lunch.
For lunch. So
Yeah.
when I was 2nd grade, I'd go to the house, eat my lunch, watch today's special, go back to the school. Knew when today's special was over, it was time for me to get back. Boom.
Yeah.
Back, done, sit in class, and everything's copacetic. My 3rd grade teacher, my 4th grade teacher, both black women. They knew my parents
Yeah.
in real life. Like,
Powerful.
knew my parents. So that was a blessing for me because I was like, oh, they know my parents.
Yeah.
I have their great nephew at Brooks right now,
Wow.
and been knowing them for all my life. But all my teachers, like I would go, my kindergarten teacher, Miss Owens, God bless her soul, God bless the dead, wonderful woman. Her 2 daughters danced for Tina Turner, twin daughters. They danced right behind Tina Turner, still do to this day. So I
Rolling on the river.
rolling.
Left a good job in the city.
That's right. Shout out to her, her kids. They're great. They did Fame. They did the whole 9. They was amazing
That's
dancers. Then turn around 3rd grade, Miss McGilbray, still out here in the district. Like she looks like a young woman. She going, strutting, doing her thing.
Yeah.
And her husband was my 7th grade English teacher. 4th grade, Miss Redmond, black lady.
Yeah.
So I got to see black teachers in real life that were my parents.
It speaks to how old
Peers.
you are.
No, but that leads me to the next question, right? I feel like there's like a gap in generations.
It is.
That removed community.
Absolutely.
Facts.
So whether it was, the systematic,
True.
right, and those residuals from that.
Yeah.
But what you described, because you said 99 is when you was I was 12 in 99,
Yeah.
right? So there's that gap.
Yep.
And I think too, like, there's no more grandmas.
Nope.
That's the thing I say. There's no more grandmas. There's no more papas. Like, everybody's gotten younger.
Yeah.
From your view, what shifted that generational like change in that? I don't want to say the removal of community because it wasn't completely removed, but like that hesitation to. Because I grew up at McAdams. I grew up in summer programs.
Yeah, me too.
NYSP.
You know what I'm saying?
Worked there. I did that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And when I pulled up to NYSP one time and they said that the group I was part of was the Jazz, and I was like, I don't even like jazz music. I didn't realize it was based on NBA teams.
Right.
But that generational gap, what is removed? Like, what happened? What presented that gap or that change?
I think for our generation, our community, the separation. I'm just gonna say it like this. I think that the kids grew up and they said, "I'm not gonna treat my kids like my parents treated me. I'm not gonna send my kids to church. I'm not gonna send my kids to Jack and Jill. We're not doing the NAACP no more." All those systems that were presented for us as a black community. Now, I know people say don't force your kids to go to church. I say do, because church isn't just for God. I think church gives you speech. It gives you public speaking. It gives you community. It also gives you how to read. Because if you read in the Bible or you learn in Scripture on a consistent basis and there's repertoire that's in your mind, you can read better than any kids at school, because those words are way bigger than the school words.
Big ass words.
That's right. So, you know what I'm saying? It gives you so much, and it gives you performing. You never know what talents you have on deep down on the inside. Doing and stop going to places that were set up to help us succeed and be good, you know what I'm saying, in our life. We just stopped going. And once we stopped going, it shift happened. And they was like, all right, cool. Those systems that were needed and that were in place for us to succeed. Think about the civil rights movement. Where did it happen?
Yeah.
In the church.
Yeah.
Every part of our community happened in the church. It was a cornerstone of our life and how we lived. Yes, you get Jesus all day long, but it's also so many other things. From learning how to deal with other people, how to respect your elders, we don't have no respect for nobody no more, because we lost that sense of, it's a hierarchy of things.
Yeah.
Church is so much more than just church.
Man, what I'm hearing you say, values.
Yeah.
There is a value system that has been lost or forfeited.
Yes.
Man, that's layered, right? Because when I look at our generation, like, I think now people are coming around to having a root spiritually, right, much greater than it was before.
True.
But I know even when I talk to a lot of different brothers and they're hesitant to church, or sisters hesitant to church, is because that value system that seemed so strong was exposed in some way, shape, or form.
True.
Because you both are powerful men of God, right? What would you say to someone who has no faith in that value system?
One, they shoot up the club, but y'all still go to the club. They mess your food up at your restaurant, but you still go back to the restaurant.
You still got faith in them.
You still got faith
the next time.
Right.
Okay, I hear you.
I would submit today that, and this is me.
Yeah.
But a person cannot live without faith. It's impossible. And I'm gonna tell you, you were designed to live in faith. When we came in, man, and we were sitting in this beautiful art gallery, and we sat in these chairs. Yeah. We sat down by faith. I didn't build this chair. I don't know what the weight rating is on this chair.
True.
God intended for every aspect of your life to be involved with faith. And even though we don't acknowledge it, it's right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can call it whatever you want to call it, believing, faith, feeling, like we talked about earlier, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we lost our ability to be community when we stopped believing and loving each other. Back in the day, if you messed up down the street, you got checked before you got home. And when you got home, you got checked again. We in a generation now that can't nobody say nothing to my baby. And that's why your baby's going upside your head, because you won't allow anybody to say anything to his narrow behind. And I am of the mindset that we've allowed everything and everyone else to parent our children, except for us. TV babysits our kids. Social media entertains our kids. The police have told us that we cannot discipline our children. But can I paint a picture for you? In the school district, we have to allow boys that identify as girls to use the girls' bathroom. We have to allow girls that identify as boys. They are able to use the girls' locker room if that's how they identify. Okay, have to allow kids that practice Islam to go out in the hallway and pray whenever they want to, 7 times a day. But as a coach, we can't pray with our own athletes. If they are praying, we have to walk away from the circle. We cannot pray with them. We can't lead them in prayer. But we have to allow uninhibited Islamic kids, which I have no problem with it, for them to pray. The Bible tells me if I love my child, I will chastise them. The law says if I whoop them, I'm beating them.
Yeah.
What am I to do? What am I to do? I'm in a crossword in betwixt. I don't know what to do. But I feel like Jeremiah, as for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord. And so whatever that entails, whatever that means, that's what we're going to do. And so we have to get our community back, and our community means we police ourselves.
Okay.
If you're doing wrong, I tell you, man, you're not gonna do that over here. Stop that. But it's okay as long as it's over there. No, it's wrong. If it's wrong over here, it's wrong over there.
Yeah.
And I'll piggyback on that real fast. That the blessing part of me going out to those football games and being able to talk to those parents, I cannot police your kids.
Yes, sir.
Word.
That it's a trust value there. We have
100.
value systems. We
100.
you know what I'm saying? And me, you know what I'm saying, show up at your school every day and have a relationship with that parent. I'm gonna come and be like, yo, your kid wasn't doing right. And I told them about themselves.
Yeah.
Follow up with that, please. Thank you. Good, God bless you.
There's trust built.
There's trust built.
man.
There's trust built. There's trust built through being present.
Yes.
Now I'm comfortable and I can let my guard down. Now
Right.
I have the discernment that you're good people. Because I think, one of my biggest gifts and curses is empathy.
Oh, absolutely.
I have a very high level of empathy. So much so my daughter tells me, when she's telling me about her day, she's like, Dad, you always taking their side. I'm like, I'm not taking nobody's side. I'm just listening to what you're saying only, and I want to give you an idea of what it could look like on the other side of that, of what you're saying, right? And something I think about, right, as we talk about trust and values and discernment, is I can also see where why that's been lost on people, right? Like one of my favorite, and we talked about it at a meeting we had last week. I love that this generation talks about kids being trophy kids.
Oh my God.
But they forget we the ones that gave them trophies.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like we've built this thing. I mean, it's almost like a destroy and rebuild. Like we've broken everything, every value system we had. We broke it to pieces because we didn't trust it or we didn't like it. I think mental health conversations, they happen way more intentionally than they did before.
True.
But that's because we now have different language to communicate
Right.
our emotions and our feelings. Before you might say somebody was a little blessed or a little touched or a little, whatever you might say,
Right.
to describe them having some mental health challenges. And I really think that insight to the different things going on in the world has shifted the way we maneuver and move, but we're not equipped with how to maneuver and move.
Right.
Right? We recognize that we don't like the way this thing, we don't like this. We got the foundation. We don't like what we built with it.
Yeah.
We're gonna break it down, but damn, how do we build it back up?
Exactly.
And I think that's what I see when I look at stuff. I'm like, yo, we just don't know how to build this thing back up. We broke it down.
We destroyed it.
We destroyed it.
But we can't live in the fact that we destroyed it and just be like, okay, well, we just go willy-nilly this thing and just everybody go shoot from the hip and we just go do
Yeah.
our thing. No, systems were built in place for a reason, and we can't destroy every system just because we don't like something.
Absolutely.
Word.
Uncomfortable feelings gonna happen,
Yeah.
but we got to grow from those uncomfortable feelings
Courageous conversation.
and have courageous conversations,
Yeah.
and so we can build and be better.
Come on.
And like I shared with you all, man, sometimes you gotta have a conversation and remove your emotion.
Facts.
Just talk facts.
Facts.
Just talk facts. Like I explained to y'all, man, if a doctor comes in the room, he's not gonna entertain you. His job is to give you the facts. This is the test. This is what
Yeah.
I found. Yeah. This is your treatment. This is your options.
Yeah.
Those are just facts.
Yeah.
He not coming to say, "Hey man, how you doing today? I know you sick. That's why you here.
Right.
Let me give you the facts, so we know how we got here to this broken situation. But we know a house built on quicksand is not gonna stand long.
True.
We got to put our foundations back into place, and that's what you talk about. Community. Our community was our foundation. Our church was our foundation. How can we stand without a foundation? How can this building stand without a foundation?
Word.
We got to get back to our foundations.
Yeah. Hey, Stranger Danger was some of the craziest stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? But now everybody's a stranger.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So you talk being present. You talk being intentional in the spaces, right? And just having those hard conversations, man. And I love it because I think that's purpose driven.
Absolutely.
Right? That's how we really grow this thing
Absolutely.
on purpose, in purpose. And I love the work y'all doing.
Thanks, man.
Right? And I got a couple more questions, right? Because I go forever. I go forever.
We go forever too.
For you both, right? What affirmed that you was on the right track in the work that you're doing? Like, what was that moment that you was like, I get it now. This is why I'm here.
When literally, and Mario can attest to this, we go a lot of places together. We do lunch together every week, multiple times. We go to the mall together. We buy shoes together. We buy suits together.
Pray for us, y'all.
We fellowship. His name is Mario. I call myself Luigi most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Just be clowning, but we can't go anywhere without seeing a student. That's Mr. Barnes. That's Mr. Harris. Hey man, you remember Mario when you saved my life? You remember when you fed me when I was hungry? Man. That's what let us know. And I ain't speaking for him, I'm speaking for myself. But that's what let us know we're on the right track. My kids, Daddy, I don't want to go to the store with you ever again. Yeah. It's always an hour process. Because I'm going to see a child, an adult, a teacher, a person. I'm going to see somebody who wants to say thank you.
Yeah.
I know I'm on the right track because people want to share their life with me.
Ooh.
Not only in word, action, but also in deed. And when I can go to a restaurant and get up with no bill because somebody has slipped away and said, hey, he don't pay nothing today.
Yeah.
That let me know I was on the right track, man. And not for the tangible things. Those things that touch my heart, they're bigger than the things that touch my pocket.
Word.
Man,
yeah. It's the thing that drives the tangible thing.
Right.
It's something that made them say, hey, I love that.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a bar.
For me, it's like you said, man, going and seeing those kids, but also seeing, I say I have 3 or 4 mentor groups that I've had. My oldest group is 31, 32. So they close to y'all.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Mario old, I told you.
listen, I'm not that old.
You wear it well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
For sure.
Sam's a good man. Sam's a good man.
But they, when they affirm and just say, hey, you know what? I don't know where I would be without you.
Man.
I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for Mario.
Yeah.
And so I got at least 3 groups of young men that are now grown, and they always, I still stay in touch with them, but they missed the glory days. They used to come to the crib and hang out, and you know what I'm saying, the mentorship was live in effect, but they affirm me and say, hey, I don't care what nobody else say, you saved my life.
Wow.
And
They gave me a chill, man. Because I think that's a thing that is missing amongst black men even.
man,
Is words of affirmation.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm damn near tearing up, like, because that's like for a brother to tell you, yo, you changed my life.
Right.
man,
Right.
That removes pride.
yeah,
That removes ego.
for sure,
And it just presents love.
yeah,
And I say this, man, my son is 14.
Yeah.
My son is 14. And I will hug him and kiss him in front of
Come on.
everybody.
True.
And
Yeah.
he embraces it.
yes,
Dad,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
it's like I'm holding him up. No, he's holding me up.
true,
Come on.
True.
You know, and
True.
Mario has to get me sometimes. Like, Odell, give him some rope because he's a good kid.
Yeah.
But I see all these other kids, young men, making these decisions, and it makes me embrace my son a little closer.
100%.
And Mario is like, Odell, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and so it's just, man, it makes me love him that much more.
Yeah.
And you know, my dad wasn't in my home,
Come on.
so the way I approach fatherhood is totally different.
totally different.
I'm
100.
in their business. I'm on their top. I'm in their room.
Come on.
I'm all in their business, brother, because I don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of mothers lose their son before they bury them.
That's the real thing.
Did you
True.
catch me?
That's
I
real.
did.
I've seen so many parents lose their children before they ever lost them to the grave or to the jail cell.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just don't want to lose my kids. I don't lose touch of them. I still want to be my daughter's hero.
Yeah.
I still want to be who she patterns, who she's looking for after. Man, my daddy opened doors for me. My daddy take me on dates. My daughter just had her quinceañera. She just turned 15. DJ Mario in the building. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Photography, it was just beautiful. It's a big shindig. It's her mother's culture. She's Puerto Rican, and so I put some carrots on my daughter's finger, and I let her know, whatever joker come behind me, he gonna have to put more than 2 carrots on your finger. Hey man, you ain't doing nothing, man. My daddy did this for me. My daddy spoiled me, and we gotta spoil them in a way that when somebody come and try to sparkle in front of them, they're not taking them away from their foundation.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
I like to think it's not even spoiling them. It's setting clear expectations.
Expectations.
Here's
the bar high.
Here's where this is at.
There it
Anything
is.
less than this
There it
is
is.
not
And
the deal.
Subpar.
I say spoiled because not enough black kids are spoiled. Our kids shouldn't have to beg for our love.
Come on.
Our kids shouldn't have to beg for our time. I remember.
I was spoiled, by the way. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm a mama's boy. I'm spoiled right now. I'm 35.
My mama's spoiled.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, shout out to my mama. I love her.
For sure.
To
Both
death.
our
Yeah.
moms.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you now, on Christmas, man, I remember we got the kids so many gifts. I mean, it's 4 kids, so you can imagine it's a lot of gifts. Christmas morning they get up, they excited. I'm like, man, I know they ready for them gifts. They walk past the gifts and they hug the gift. It's a gift in fatherhood. It's a gift, man. And they embracing me, Daddy, thank you. And that's how I feel when I think about God. If you never give me with anything else, you've gifted me with enough.
Man.
Huh?
I just preached that Sunday.
Come on, man, give me some.
Come on. I like that. I
preached that Sunday.
Lord, they got
I
to do
said,
nothing else.
listen, it's a song by Odell couch. He said, it's been worth just having the Lord in my life.
It's been worth
Yeah.
it.
If heaven never was promised to me, it's been worth just having God in my life.
And so my gift is my kids, man. Having them in my life and being able to see them matriculate and come into their own, have their own personality. That's what lets us know we're on the right path, man. And it's all the hell that I've gone through being a father.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Teenage
It's been
daughters
worth it.
is real.
Come on, man.
It's different.
These boys, shout out to all the boys that believe in abstinence.
Right.
Because the ones that's chasing my daughter believe in trying to get it right now.
Word.
I like the boys that's trying to save it, man. You
Yeah.
know, trying to, those values.
But that's what I think that's the beauty in the way that I'll say we all are in these children's lives out here, right?
Absolutely.
Is it sets a foundation, it sets a bar. I never liked the product of environment, right?
So
but I'm big on you're the product of your expectation.
That's good.
If I
like
see
that.
something, okay, because my environment, I mean, you know what I mean? Like from the dealer to the users to the folks that work to the homies that were on the extras and et ceteras. But I also seen other things that I wanted to be,
For sure.
or that I knew were tangible to be,
sure.
right? And it put me on the path to, or even from a level of resentment, like that ain't what I want.
Right.
Can I speak on that?
Please do.
So me being a kid that was very, very, what do you say? What was the word I'm looking for? Impressionable.
Okay.
I saw a lot, and I could have went a whole lot of ways,
Word.
but I believe because my foundation was strong,
Yes.
I didn't go the other way.
Yes.
Those things really, really mean something. Now, I know kids today don't have grandmothers and all those different things. I love both of my grandmamas. They were great. They were amazing people. And then I had a grandpa. Like, I still remember my grandpa. Like, we had a great relationship. And so my foundation was pretty strong. Plus, my mother was one of 10, and my father was one of 7. So it was pretty strong on both sides. Both grandmothers were in church. They both was praying. You can't do everything in their house. So my foundation was really, really strong. If you know what I'm saying, my parents didn't just talk about it. They was about that thing. They just didn't say, I love Jesus on Sunday and just did anything else on Monday through Saturday. They loved Jesus every day of the week, and I saw it happen in my own house. So that foundation made me a stronger person. And I think if we model for our kids what we want this thing to be, you get good results.
So Sam, I shared quickly that I tell folks I am a product of my environment. I grew up in a negative environment, man. Living on 13th and Green, stealing, killing, and drug dealing, man, is what we grew up seeing. I said I was a product, but I didn't say I was a prisoner. There's a difference, man. We all are products of our home life, our family life. You know, that Harris family name. You know, my daddy was a Temptation. He was a Rolling Stone. You know what I'm saying?
What
My
I've heard
daddy
about
did his
mine.
thing. You know, but I'm a product, man, of that. But I don't have to be a prisoner. You know, I don't have to. A man doesn't have to make his wife his cellmate. She can just be his helpmate.
Word.
You get what I'm saying? Your children don't have to be subservient to you.
Come on.
They can just be, they can follow good leadership.
100%.
Kids don't always do what we tell them to do, but they will mimic what they see.
Come on.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Come on.
And we find a lot of kids mimicking our negative traits. And the things that I dislike the most about my son are the things that I taught him.
That's a bar.
Yes, sir.
That I will say the same exact thing.
Yes, sir.
Anytime my kids are displaying a trait that I'm not happy about, whether it's being lazy, procrastinating, not communicating with what they want to say, I check myself first, right? And I'm like, damn, did they get that from me?
Right.
For me.
Like, did they see me doing that?
Straight
So
up.
let me make sure I'm on point and on
Yes, sir.
par, because I'm big on setting an example. Me and my wife we are very big on the PDA, and my kids hate it. They come in and jump in the way, like, stop. But I'm like, you're gonna love it one day.
Yeah.
You're gonna appreciate it, right? I'm big on my kids get the biggest love. I'm very affectionate with my baby.
For sure.
I get hugs, kisses, words of affirmation on the daily,
For sure.
because I want you to believe what I'm saying to you.
Yes.
But I also want you to have the discernment to not believe it from everybody,
Yes.
Right.
right? Good or bad, because then that's gonna take you where you're gonna take you.
True.
Man, last question I got for y'all.
Okay.
What would you tell yourself 10 years ago? No, yeah, what would you tell yourself 10 years ago?
You would have been my age. 35.
I've been 35.
Yeah.
So,
Jump off the cliff and bet on yourself.
Mm.
God has blessed me with some amazing gifts and amazing gifting. From DJing to photography to dancing to mentorship.
Yeah,
Jump out that cliff and bet all the way on yourself.
I like that. I love that.
I never, you know what I'm saying, jumped off the cliff and bet on myself 10 years ago. Now, I'm seeing the fruition of, you know what I'm saying,
betting on yourself.
betting on myself.
Word.
Putting myself out there. My brother used to always tell me, Bunch, you need a card. What is your cards at? Like, where are your cards at? You don't need a card.
Market yourself.
Market yourself. Throw yourself out there.
Absolutely.
I was like, it's word of mouth. It's been word of mouth for years. And you know what I'm saying? We get complacent in the fact. You know what I'm saying? We're, I'm good. I'm good. I could have, you know what I'm saying, been a whole lot farther along. Or I just bet on myself and just jumped off that cliff. And
That's
said,
the bar.
you know, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what I'm saying, shout out to y'all, because y'all doing it now. You know what I'm saying? And taking that leap and that jump. But if 10 years ago, if I would have bet on myself,
I wouldn't be working as hard as I am. I'd be using some of your money.
You be in the league. that's the thing
Yes.
I told myself.
Yes.
Like, yo, bro, if I would have just put the work in then,
I would have been in the league.
I'd be in the league.
But I also say that those places where I was 10 years ago and the people that I was connected to, I wasn't able to be a blessing to them. So those people that were around me during that time, 10 years ago, those young people that are now 21, 22, I wouldn't have been their go-to. I wouldn't have been their mentor.
Yeah.
And so I think God is doing a great thing in me now and to go restore the years that, you know what I'm saying, was back then.
Word.
So I think that, you know what I'm saying, it all works out for the good. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
I love that.
Man,
25.
25.
25.
Your baby was 5 years old.
You thought you knew it all.
I did, man. And I didn't know.
I know I did.
I would tell myself, kind of same vein as Mario, but I would tell myself that you can't bet on a horse once he's in the winner's circle. You got to bet on him when he's running in the mud.
Okay.
I like horses, man. I've always longed to go to the Kentucky Derby. I was gonna go this year, but I wasn't paying no $5,000, so I'll go. You know, when the economy gets better.
Yeah.
But man, one thing about watching a horse run, man, is for about 1 or 2, 3 minutes, man, they running in the mud, and it really just like some horses running in the mud. But you got to run through the mud to get through the winner's circle.
Word.
In life, man, I think we are afraid of the mud. But I've learned that if you plant a seed in some dry ground, it won't grow. But if you put it in some mud, pack it down, put some water on it, man, it'll grow. So I've learned, man, in the last 10 years to plant seeds, man, and water those seeds and let God make them grow. I had to learn, man, that I didn't know everything and I didn't have it all figured out, man. I was a public success, but I was a private failure. Everybody loved me, but I hated myself. I didn't like the man that I saw when I looked in the mirror. And quickly, life has a way of bringing about a change, man. And sometimes we want to move so fast, but something happens after the chips fall out of the vending machine.
Yeah.
If you put $1 in and the chips cost 50 cents, you don't run off with your chips. You wait for your change to come. I think in life we're standing in front of this machine of life. And we've gotten a few things that we wanted to drop out and we're going to enjoy them now. But hold on, there's change coming out of this machine called life. And right now when we look at this climate, when we look at the global climate, when we look at all that is going on, we got temporary satisfaction. It's called Doritos. Those are the Wham Whams and the Yum Yums right now.
Yeah.
But if you hold on just a little bit longer, you're going to get hungry again. And you're going to need that change.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I was looking for a change in my personal life. I wasn't the man I should have been. I wasn't the business person I should have been. I wasn't in the career I should have been in. And I was waiting on God to change it, man. I was publicly successful. People knew my name. But did he know my name? I've learned, man, in a world where you can be anything you want to be. What's wrong with being Samuel David? What's wrong with being Mario Caleb? What's wrong with being Odell? Just be yourself.
Just be you.
Our daughters, they deal with trying to be Beyonce when they can just be them. Our sons want to be Drake when they can just be themselves. It's a lot to it. And I enjoy being me, man. And if I can tell myself 10 years ago, just keep pushing towards your dream, man. Keep believing in you. Keep betting on you. And God's gonna bless you, man. So that's what I would tell myself 10 years ago. Just bet on yourself, man. Believe in yourself. I didn't believe in myself. A kid that struggled academically as a child, man, with reading and comprehension. And I was in special ed. And, man, God has blessed me to graduate with honors, man, and travel the world, go places my family, my mother and father have never gone, and they probably will never see. Because I believed in myself, and I believed in the God that I serve. And so, man, that's it, man. Just trust the process. Plant seeds, man, and let God watch them grow. And don't forget to bet on yourself while you're in the mud.
Come on. Listen, I appreciate y'all brothers pulling up on me today.
Sure.
I was talking about the illest thing, black man to black man, is affirmation. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro.
In real life.
Yes,
in real life.
Y'all could have spent y'all time anywhere, but y'all came and had this open, transparent conversation. We could have kept going. We could have went even deeper.
Yeah, we could have.
Right, I'm about to have y'all back because it's some more layers we could peel back.
For
right?
sure, for sure.
But I genuinely, I love y'all, man. I love what y'all represent. I love what y'all stand for. I love what y'all stand on.
Thank you.
And I appreciate y'all today.
Thank you, man.
The biggest love.
Man, man.
All
Yes,
love.
indeed.
Yeah, man. For sure.
Peace, big love, big blessings, and even bigger living. This has been Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David, special guest Mario Caleb Barnes, and my brother Odell Harris. Q Talk to God.
Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. I talk to God, I'm up now. So high up, not coming down. So far gone, I'm ooh. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. Then I talk to God, I'm gone. Yeah. Yeah, whole lot of learning, not perfect. Whole lot of living my purpose. No limits like Percy. My soul never for purchase. My mind never not working. My grind never not worth it. My time never no hurry. Learn from the hare and the tortoise. Gotta see clear through the vision. Catch a nigga slipping, they'll lynch him. Can't be worried about the mentions. Good weed easing all the tension. What you scared of? Tell me what you fearing. Real nigga, that's a new religion. God told me go get it. When the big homie talking, better listen. Big guy coming through big things. Left hand got the big ring. Life story on the big screen. Big wins for the big team. Been him 616. These are hymns, not 16s. Waking up, living big dreams. You know how that work. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. I talk to God, I'm up now. So high up, not coming down. So far gone, I'm ooh. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm zone. Don't know if I'm coming home. don't know if I'm coming home. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff, and I talk to God. I'm up now. So far gone, not coming down. So far gone, can't see him. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff, and I talk to God. I'm gone. Yeah.